because, okay, now you're live.
Now I'm live. Hey, welcome again to Facebook Live with Sheppard 1111. Behind the camera is Dana, my partner, and the one that manages all these things. Thanks to her, this works. So,
Well, today we're a little late.
we're just a minute late.
But hi.
Hi, everyone. Let us know where you're from. If this is your first time, if you've been doing this for a while and following our Facebook Lives and our podcasts and those kind of things. So, after you do that, we'll do some readings, but I do have a topic that I want to discuss today. But first of all, we want to just, welcome everybody. Just know that we're here to give you some answers and some intuition and some validations regarding your loved ones. And my heart's a little overwhelmed today because of the shooting, but I will talk a little bit about that today because it is high on the priority of what's on the news these days.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, any shout outs? Anyone we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook Live. What else are we on?
YouTube. Yep. Mm-hmm.
We're covering all the bases these days.
It's going to take a few minutes for people to join.
Okay.
So
this is our third time doing all these platforms. So I want to give Dana and Elizabeth behind the scenes too a shout out for making this happen. Who knew that we could,
multimedia.
Yeah. I always joke about when I was growing up, we had a party line, which meant two other families shared the same number. And now we do this. So technology.
Whoa, sorry, way. Instagram.
So for Instagram, it felt like you had a fall, but just a split second there. You're doing okay.
You're fine. You're back. Goodness gracious. Okay.
So
you're set.
We're in Colorado. We're glad that it's got some sun out today. We don't have any snow. So probably get out and do some walking, sitting on our deck, and just enjoying the beautiful Colorado weather.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Are people coming on?
Yeah. So just a couple shout outs. We've got first person to join, Ann Rogers. Happy sunny day in Lakewood, Colorado.
Hi, Ann. I think I know Ann.
To you. Mm-hmm. Carla. Hi from Colorado. Karen Height. I'm a long-termer. Karen from Western Nebraska.
Yay, we've got friends in Nebraska.
Melissa, please help me get answers on my life and what's going on. I feel lost. Well, that's what Deb does. Mm-hmm. Sydney, good morning.
Hey, Sid.
Hi, Sid.
These are current students, some of them. So thank you again for following and participating in this.
Yeah. Deb on Instagram, I'm so overwhelmed with grief about these senseless deaths. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's been a little overwhelming.
Yeah, I'm going to talk a little bit about that.
Let's see. Tammy from Hickory, North Carolina.
Is it Tammy Collins?
Tammy Miller.
Tammy Miller, okay.
Missy from Centennial, Colorado.
Yeah,
Lauren from Colorado Springs. Marcia from Ohio. And we've got Jennifer up in Chicago.
Wow.
Canyon City, Karen. April, she wants to know if she's ever going to find love.
Well, are you looking for a partnership or a fur baby love? So, love can be multi-dimensional when it comes to what you want for love.
Yeah. And people still just joining, but obviously you're going to do readings and connect people with their loved ones. We try to get to several people each week. Yes, you're on every Wednesday. Mm-hmm. And so you'll be doing that here shortly, but I know you want to talk about your topic today.
My heart is heavy, like so many people that's on this platform today and those around the world. There's all these comments about what happened, the tragedy in Uvalde. Thank you. My heart is heavy, and what I want to say and what I want to bring out, this is not the right time or platform. However, what's interesting is May is Mental Health Month. And we just released a podcast on Monday with a school counselor and a friend of mine, Carolyn Crouch. And she was my son's counselor during the time after her father died by suicide. He was 11 years old, and he went to this school that I believe really helped him through a lot in his life and have a compass of what to do. And so she came on and was willing to talk about mental health and young people and what we need to do, what parents can do. And when you look at these senseless acts, no matter what side of the aisle you're on, no matter what you believe regarding guns and things like that. This to me today is all about mental health because it is a topic that we are trying to discuss, but it's not going deep enough. We're hitting the surface of it. We're recognizing it finally. We're realizing that there is avenues for people and that more than we know people that are dealing with mental health. This is something that now we're really in a crisis. I really actually think we've been in a crisis of mental health for a long time. These individuals that choose to go to synagogues and grocery stores and schools and whatever different venue to do these acts has to do with mental health. And so anyone that you know that has challenged with, suicide or depression or have thoughts of suicide or depression, really listen to them. Do not shame them. Look for clues. Look for things that don't seem right. Even when the individual tells you everything's okay, understand that there is things that we can do to have conversations that might open up the door for people to talk about where they are on their mental health. And I feel like, I don't know if it's because of the news or social media, but it's more known about these things. And I think one of the first steps forward is to look at how we can change the idea of getting help for our brain and for depression and what things can change. Years ago, Candace Leitner, her daughter died by a drunk driver who had several DUIs before his daughter died. Her daughter actually went to school with my sister-in-law, Lisa, and played softball. And the day before she died or the day of. And Candace created Mothers Against Drunk Drivers Mad. And she wanted to make it more difficult for people that chose to drink and drive, that changed the laws that have saved a lot of people. And to me, an addiction and things like that are also considered mental health. So maybe we need to really focus on our mental health versus how we look, how much money we make, looking beautiful on making things look like everything's okay versus perhaps there's an educational way that we can start finding out how to help our families, ourselves, our friends, our community regarding the mental health community.
Yeah.
In Colorado alone, if you have somebody that has a mental health crisis, it's even difficult to find a bed or a place to go to get help. And people on a personal level are creating spaces to be able to help this community. And I think this is an opportunity for all of us to make a decision and choice and stepping up to also help our community. I've been an advocate talking about mental health for quite a while. My book, Grieving to Believing, talks about the situations of mental health. I've had dealt with depression and mental health for years. It's not something that's terrible. It is something that how our bodies are wired. It's no different than having diabetes or high blood pressure or fibromyalgia or allergies. These are all things that affect our well-being and our ability to be part of our community. So I will eventually say more about this topic, but today my heart and my soul and my being is being sent out to all these families that have, are going to be burying loved ones, their children, perhaps a mom or sister or cousin or niece or nephew. I don't want to imagine what any of them are going through, but I do believe that we have to really talk about mental health because this individual, his actions were definitely about his mental health. So I'm going to pull myself back together because I do this for a living. I help people through grief, and I've helped a lot of, especially parents that have lost loved ones. Mental health is a senseless way for anyone to have lost a loved one. And so that's my soapbox for today. With that, I'm going to change it up and raise my vibration and my energy to be able to do readings or answer any questions about this topic, or if you have a thought about this mental health crisis.
Yeah. A couple of comments. Aurora is on the East Coast, and finding beds and professional help is the same there. It's really difficult. Uh, ML Jaramillo says, I feel like many don't know how to heal from trauma. And that is true. I mean, I think that's a big part of why you created the groups you created. And the solution program is to help as many people as you can, as many people as you physically can through their grief and trauma to help them continue.
I think we push it down and it comes up, and I'm sorry we're on the East Coast. It's something that we're putting all these things on a back burner, and we cannot do that any longer. And since I've been affected by family members from suicide, several of them, it is something that we can't just dismiss anymore or put under the rug.
Exactly. Rihanna Starr says she struggled helping her son find help his entire life and felt hopeless. He's out of control at 27 now, and that's why I've been asking if my dad is helping him, and this is heartbreaking. So it sounds like her son is still struggling.
He's
And
still
it's
here.
Yeah, and it's so hard.
Listen to my podcast that was released on Monday. Maybe there's something in there that you haven't turned over that stone.
Lauren Hoffman, my son was taken from senseless gun violence. He was 10. His name is Jackson, and he passed in 2020. And that is why you do what you do. That is a big part of why you do what you do.
One of my missions here is to help parents heal from these tragic events. And it goes to my heart. You want your child here. They should be. We should have our children outlive us.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm sorry for the loss of your son, Jackson.
So we always try to bring on a couple people, as well as you do many readings during one of these sessions every Wednesday.
I don't get emotional very often.
I know, and it's okay. Yeah. I
I've been told I was Teflon.
You're not really.
No, I'm not.
You feel it all. Shannon is on. Shannon Gayton.
Hi, Shannon.
Mental health is something we should deal with daily, not wait until it's a crisis. Yeah. Exactly. So, Lauren, what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you send an email to Elizabeth@debsheppard.com, and she's going to give you some instructions. So Elizabeth@debsheppard.com is the email address. I want you to send an email to Lauren, and we'll see if we can get you on with Deb today. And in the meantime, see Jamie Foster. She's in Arizona. Mental health services are absolutely terrible in Arizona. It's been a fight to get my loved ones the help they need. I truly believe that our family that has gone on before us help us, but for so many reasons, which I think you have a specific philosophy on that in itself, but we hear this all the time, how hard it is to get mental health help.
Yeah, this is why I can tell you my views on gun control and what I believe on guns. I don't want to go there today, especially today. But no one does this to young people unless there's a mental health. And to me, there's my platform. This is something I've been talking about for a very long time, 13, 14 years at least. And that's why I have the podcast on this. Do you have another story there?
Yeah, Nicole, she's on YouTube. She works with somebody who was a freshman at Columbine and was in the library, bumped into her this morning and just saw the grief on her face. And it's not fair that she's still struggling, even with all the help. And it just keeps happening in our world. And that's why we can't recover because it just keeps happening.
And it's, you see hate crimes, but mentally, I believe hate crimes are a mental illness. It's a belief system that their mentality and their way of thinking is that racism is something that they need to focus on and put their energy towards. So this crime is very different, I believe, than a hate crime, but it's still even more tragic. But tragic is tragic. Do you have another comment here?
Just fielding the comments, but yeah, just people saying, yes, you're spot on. And Carolyn Crouch is on.
Hi, Miss Carolyn.
So thanks for joining.
Carolyn is someone I truly love. I've known her quite a long time, I think 14 years possibly. And she's the one that's on the podcast with me. And I'm just honored that she was willing to come in and step up and share her name and talk about things that I hope she doesn't lose her job, but she really wanted to be a voice and an advocate for this change on mental health and helping children. And this is what Carolyn does for her livelihood, is help young people that are in trauma, that have had some difficult experiences, to regain their confidence and their support and believe in themselves again. We need more people like Carolyn and this Endeavor school that she represents, that my son went to. We need more of those. We need more things that understand. And I know teachers are overwhelmed, principals, staff, everyone. This to me isn't about putting more on teachers. This is putting the communities and the districts at a place where money needs to be spent to help with this issue. Because if they can't get it, we need to figure out how to give it to them.
Okay. Lots of comments, and we'll come back to that. But
For me to reading.
yeah, Erin Farrell wants to connect with her friend Dave.
So first of all, for those people that are the first time on, I use all my senses, all my abilities to be able to connect. So I hear, see, taste, and smell. I see visions in my third eye. I interpret what I get. These sessions I do really quickly. They're not the hour private sessions. And so some things come through kind of randomly. If it doesn't make sense, write it down. And then if you want to validate if it's right or wrong, we would love to hear that. I'm trying to.
You're always right.
You're
always right. Deb says on Instagram, says, thank you for being a light in this often dark world.
Thank you.
So Lucky 7 on Insta says, schools need more counselors. The ratio should be one counselor for every 250 students, and most schools are far from that.
Even more, but I think there's so many things. Even Carol and I talked about, and I'm getting back to Erin. I didn't forget about Erin and Dave. Carol and I were talking about bringing back things in schools that are how to pay bills, how to fix the car, how to make meals, how to focus and get problem solved. I did that growing up, and now it's taken out of the school programs, even PE for many, which kids need to be outside and be active. And I know that's very controversial right now, but my point being, I don't want to put the burden on these teachers. This is about the community and how we can show up and make our schools better for these young people. So Erin,
I'm just going to add a mic real fast.
Okay. Oh yeah, we didn't have the other mic on.
Because it sounds like you're far away to some people. So we're going to just add another mic just to make sure.
I don't have one on, but
we don't need one. So just give me 1 sec.
Thank you for your patience today. A little bit of processing with what's happened in the last 24 hours. So can they hear me now?
Just give me 1 sec.
It's like a Verizon commercial.
Mic. Oh. See if they can hear you any better.
Oh, this is not on.
Give me a sec.
Okay.
Go ahead.
If I got really close to that camera, I'm so sorry if you saw my nose or my ears or anything. TMI, definitely TMI. Okay, Erin. First thing I got when you said Dave's name is I got this huge smile on my face. This is an individual that I believe would show up for you, would be there, kind, loving. I feel a little bit of confusion. So this could be around his passing or in his mental. There's an interesting energy around Dave with you. One of the things I feel is it's like a brother from another mother, but at the same time, I feel like there's a real closeness that you don't always get in life. You get this sometimes where people show up and you're like, wow, I feel like I've already known you before. So it's one of those immediate connections. And I also feel there was a back and forth of fun times and energy and being there for each other. I feel like his passing, it feels a little bit more unexpected, and it doesn't mean that it was quick, but I feel as if either he wasn't prepared, you weren't prepared, or there wasn't the process was different than you expected. He's talking to me about music, that's a great way to connect with him. And he's also saying that you are feeling him around you, but you're not sure if it's him. And he says, yes, it is. I also feel like Dave was a smart individual. I'm seeing a lot of numbers, which means he could have been in real estate, an engineer, anything that has to do with numbers, or he liked, processing on the left brain. And he thinks it's fun that you're here. And he's also telling me that someone told you about me. So I don't know if this is your first time on my Facebook Live or that I just feel like someone told you about this after Dave's passing is my feeling around Dave. So if any of that makes sense to you, please let us know. And I'm sorry for your loss.
Yeah. Validations are super important only because there's so many of you on and they probably can't hear me now, but
I don't know where I got this pink ink from. I've been marked.
Okay, so we have Lauren on with us now.
Great. Hi, Lauren.
And she has a little one with her. I'm going to bring her on.
Oh, who's the little one?
There she is. Okay, you're on, Lauren. Good morning.
Hey, thank you.
What a cutie patootie.
Who's with you, Lauren?
Thank you. This is my daughter, Harley. She's 3 months old.
Oh, little one. Okay.
Yeah. She's very inquisitive about things. She likes to be involved.
Yeah, I feel this is my feeling around her is that she will always be curious. And this is a child that's going to ask a lot of questions. So the first thing I get for you is don't get exhausted by all the questions because that's what's going to really help her in life.
Okay.
So those kids that keep going, and how is this made? And what do we do with this? And where are we going now?
Yeah.
You may want to have some timeouts for yourself. But who do you want to hear from, Lauren?
My son, Jackson.
Okay. Was this the 10-year-old?
Yeah. Yes. He was.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Hold on.
Thank you.
Jackson feels like he brought Harley to you. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And he's telling me that you talk to him all the time.
Yes.
And that you actually have, I don't know if it's an altar, but you have a place that you go to talk to him about. Is that to talk to him?
Oh, it's just everywhere, anytime.
I'm getting more like his photos or.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, like you go over and just actually sit down and talk to him about what's going on and things like that.
Yeah.
He's also saying that he had just the cutest little face and a very rambunctious but kind soul. What I get from him is Jackson just was all heart. Does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense.
Harley has a lot of head connections where she is just curious, where Jackson, he would save the bug. He would take the spider outside to make sure it had a life.
Right.
Yeah. So to me, Jackson would never hurt anyone. He told me that he died by a shooting. He's not giving me details, but was he not the only one killed?
No, he was the only one killed.
Were there other people around though?
Can I give you a little detail or?
Was this another kid having a gun?
Yes.
Okay. Because what he's showing me is there's someone else involved, that he didn't pull the trigger or he didn't, but it was an accident for sure. And was this like, they should have been able to get the gun is my feeling.
Yes, it was accessible and it was loaded.
Geez. Okay. And I feel like this is in a after school or in a bedroom or somewhere in the back of a house.
Yes, it was in a bedroom.
Okay. He is telling me he's okay. He's also said that you have been an advocate regarding whether it's gun control or changing things, that you've been an advocate and that you have not let Jackson's name go away.
Absolutely.
And who has the big tattoo in honor of him?
My husband.
Okay. Is it like on his arm? Or?
Yes.
Okay. Because I feel like it's just really, you never want to have a tattoo where someone like a child has passed. But I also feel like his dad has a pride in this. Like he wants to talk about this topic.
Yes.
He's also telling me that he wasn't scared. I don't know if you've had a reading or not, but he wasn't scared. He just was not expecting that. And is there a grandfather passed?
Yes.
Because he's with the grandfather, and I'm seeing a larger dog, like the size of a lab.
Yes.
Okay. So he's there with them. And I feel like you believe in the afterlife, he's telling me.
Yes.
but you just really miss him. And having this happen in Texas just brings everything up again for you.
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
am so sorry. I want to give that baby a hug. Jackson says he does talk to her and wakes her up at times.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to send all my love to you, Lauren. I am so sorry.
Thanks for bringing awareness to everything, because the person that caused his death definitely had mental illness.
Mhm. Yeah. And my husband suicided with a gun, and I didn't know he purchased one. So I have a lot of things that I want to talk about, but it's really about mental health that I want to talk about.
Right. I appreciate you bringing awareness to it.
Okay. And
Thank you so much.
let's continue being advocates for this. Okay.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you, Lauren. Oh my God.
Thank you. Yes.
Little Jackson.
I know.
I just see this sweet little cute boy, like
little guy.
yeah.
And validation on the previous one and one from last week. Aaron just said Dave's passing was unexpected. We don't know what caused him to pass. He and I connected exactly how you said, and our common love was music. He was an incredibly talented real estate photographer. You're spot on for everything. And then last week, Caitlin, you did a reading for me last week. Want you to know how accurate you are. Unbelievable. You mentioned I'm painting the room. I'm literally painting my house. I'm making these hard decisions and choosing to move to Kansas this summer. And the small animal was my dog Harley that my dad loved. I can't believe how, if you would have told me this a month ago, it would not have made sense.
I love it. Well, we would have probably had different information too. And Kansas, Caitlin, and when you go to Texas or when you go to Kansas, I have a student there. I can hook you up.
One of the things you said during that last reading was about the tattoo. And I know what you're meaning, but somebody wants you to explain that further. Why would you not want to have a tattoo of your loved one? And I know what you were saying is you don't want to have a loved one cross to where you have to get a tattoo of them, and that's how you remember them. That was your intention. But
I have no issues with tattoos. I think tattoos are an ancient way of keeping our loved ones or our stories alive. When you look at someone with a lot of tats, they have a story behind it. And tattoos have been around for thousands of years. They just kind of became judged, and now we're bringing them back. Having a tattoo of a loved one is absolutely fine. I think it's beautiful. I think it's a way to honor and talk about this individual. But I would never want or wish for any parent to have a tattoo of their deceased child.
Yeah.
That's my point, is I wish that wasn't part of someone's journey.
Yes. And I'm
glad you asked, because
just to clarify
that. To clarify, because sometimes people can, the way I say it and the way I think I'm telling it can not always, register or resonate.
Yeah. There is somebody on by the name of Gracie Vanner, and she wants to connect with her daughter, Sheldon. Gracie, send an email real fast, very quickly, to elizabeth@debsheppard.com, and Elizabeth can send you the link. And then on Instagram, just another reading on Instagram real quick.
Okay.
Deb, she wants to connect with her husband. Oh, Deb, I need his name. Very quickly type in his name.
It just helps for these.
Yeah, because there's hundreds of loved ones around Deb, and it helps her to just connect with the energy quickly.
When you get a private session, I don't ask these questions. I just start reading. But when we have, 3 platforms and all the stuff going on, it just makes it easier.
Quicker, yeah. So Deb will connect you. She wants to connect with her husband. His birthday was the 23rd, and her daughter's was yesterday. Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm misreading this. Yeah. My husband's birthday was 23rd. My daughter's yesterday. His mom might come through. My daughter carries her middle name. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, it's too much information.
Husband's mother is Ray.
So is it Ray or her husband?
Ray is the mother. Her mother-in-law, husband's mother.
Okay, so we're connecting with Ray, not the husband.
Right. Ray is the mother-in-law for Deb. I'm sorry that was confusing. Yeah, I was misreading it. It wasn't
Okay.
I was not
So is the
clear.
husband still alive?
Yes.
Okay.
And so
Thank
is
you.
the daughter. Husband's alive, daughter's
I'm
alive.
like, yeah, okay,
It's
what wire do I plug into?
Mother-in-law, mom,
Right, okay.
mother figure.
Mother figure. First thing I'm getting, Deb, is Ray is this person that puts things in their place. And I don't think this is putting people in their place. I feel like she was pretty organized or wanted things done a certain way for her. I feel chest related. Could be COVID. I'm not getting the symptom for COVID, but something in the chest, lung, chest, breast, lung cancer, pneumonia. I just get in this or a stroke or things like this, but she's showing me this. I feel like there's a sense of humor around her. Family was important. She's talking about the bracelet or watch that someone is wearing of hers, or this was important for her. And I'm getting a little bit of difficulty communicating with her during the end of her life. So whether she was able to talk, or this was dementia, Alzheimer's, or something regarding communication is there. And she's talking about it's either a yellow or red rose. And this could be that she had roses, or there were roses at her service, or something that she loved to have in her home. So she's bringing this up. I don't feel like a strong religious individual, but she certainly had her opinions or thoughts on life. She's saying that she's okay, whatever choices or decisions had to be made, I'm okay. And happy birthday to her family. This is a person too that would have, reached out, especially during their child's or grandchild's birthday, and would have tried to spoil them too.
So she's died of breast cancer.
So there's the chest there. So also, I think she was a real fighter, but still doing things her way. And I'm getting the sweet, so I'm assuming that she may have liked a little bit of her sugar.
Red rose we put on a sand dune each summer.
Okay, the red rose.
Love the validations. Thank
Yeah,
you.
Thank you.
There's literally tons of people on. So Gracie's coming on right now.
Okay.
And
Sheldon's her daughter.
we'll let Gracie get herself settled because she's walking around something right now. So she's got to get settled and get herself in a good position. So let me see here. I'm just scrolling through. Charisse wants to connect with her brother Joe. It sounds like there's questions on what happened.
Okay. And what's the person that's asking?
Charisse Day Woolley.
Okay, Joe feels like an adult. Maybe he didn't always act like an adult, is telling me. So this may have been a person that still had time to grow up, but I feel like he's a full adult and was responsible, maybe had a family, job, those kind of things. So I don't feel like he's in his 20s. I feel much older. And I do feel like there may be some foul play, but Joe is also saying to me his choices and the place where he was and what he chose to do was part of his demise. So he's taking some accountability. I am seeing that this is either newsworthy or police have been involved, but I also feel like they're not coming to conclusion, or they're assuming what the conclusion is. Joe wants you to know that he is okay. I'm seeing him with a mother, aunt, mother-in-law, someone, an older female for him. And I feel like I'm assuming it might be a small cat that may have been yours. I'm not sure it was Joe's or someone's in the family to say. And I'm also seeing birds. So if you're seeing birds as a sign, or birds were part of your family, family pets, that could be what he's talking about. Joe feels a little distance in the sense of not always sharing all the details of his life, which he doesn't have to. But I feel like more information would probably help you with the situation. I feel like his death was quick, unexpected. It does not feel like complete suicide to me, but with the foul play, I just feel like there's many more different avenues. So I'd have to go into more detail with it. So hopefully that helps a little bit.
And just a shout out to Miss Denise Plant, Denver.
Hey, Miss Denise.
She said, fun watching you in action again, and you look fab.
Thank you, Miss Denise. Denise Plant, I was on Cozy One-on-One with, and I also spent a few times with her on
Coco.
Well, Coco and with the Bull. She's
The
on
Bull,
the Bull now.
that's
Yeah,
right.
with iHeart. So it's good to see you. She lost her father, I think it was last year, cancer. So my heart goes out to you too, Denise.
Yeah.
Denise was a person that helped me a lot in
She's just
supporting me.
lovely and
Yeah.
fun and awesome. So on Gracie, your phone's moving around way too much. You got to set it down for me, sweetie, if you can hear me, or else we can't bring you on because you'll make everyone dizzy.
And I want you to focus.
And while Gracie gets herself settled, Rihanna says, I see birds as a sign, owls especially.
Mm-hmm.
And that was from the last reading.
Oh, really? I thought her name was Cherie.
Oh, maybe. Yep.
So was Cherie saying that?
Yep.
Okay.
No, it was
Another person.
But Charisse said she did have a little dog.
Okay, you could. I'm just seeing this little that's really not a dog. We've been making a joke. We have little dogs too, and sometimes people think they're not real dogs. So
okay. All right, Gracie. I think she's got her phone settled down now. Hello there. You're on with Deb now, Gracie.
Hi, Gracie.
Hi.
Hi. Oh wow, there's a lot going on. Can you focus for this reading?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so Sheldon's your daughter,
Yes.
and how old was Sheldon?
15 years old.
15.
15. Okay. She's telling me that she was very energetic child. Does this make sense?
Yes.
And that was her death unexpected for you too?
Yes.
Was there breathing issues in her passing?
Yes.
And she is telling me that she is there with a grandfather. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You're very timid. She's also saying, was this a suicide for her?
No.
No.
Was it asthma? Or the accident? What's the breathing?
What's the breathing issue Deb is saying? We're having a hard time hearing you.
She got stuck for breathing towards the end.
Okay.
Okay, so she was sick before that.
Her breathing
Yes.
got stuck.
Her breathing got stuck. Okay. I just feel like a bright child. I feel like she had a lot going for her. She had friends. She's also telling me that her memory is staying alive. So this tells me that people are still talking about her, remembering her, and keeping her in their thoughts. Do you understand this?
Yes.
Okay. She's talking about the stuffed animal. Do you have her stuffed animal, or did you put that in her casket, or what's the stuffed animal that has a lot of meaning to you?
It was a teddy bear. I destroyed it after she was buried, after she passed away.
The teddy bear?
What did she do with it?
What did she do with it after she passed?
I destroyed it.
Oh, okay. So she's talking about the teddy bear because I've seen the stuffed animal. Why did you destroy it, Gracie?
Because I believe my child died of witchcraft.
Okay. Okay, so this is probably a little topic that we could probably have a session for. So if she's talking about the teddy bear, I'm going to tell you that I'm not sure it was witchcraft that took her life. So maybe there's more to discuss on this, and this probably is not the right format to do that, but I want you to know that Sheldon is okay. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm so sorry for her loss because way too young, and Sheldon was a beautiful person.
Yes. 3rd of June next month will be 4 years for it.
Oh, I'm
Okay.
so sorry.
I'm so sorry.
4 years, yeah.
Yeah. We're sending you lots of. Go ahead.
Do she have any message about my brother? Because I lost a brother which got murdered.
Wow, Gracie, you need to write a book. We only do one person at a time on this Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, but at least Sheldon's there. I do believe that your brother is with her. So just know that they're together and they're not in a terrible place. Okay.
Thank you so much. I believe that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you, Gracie. I'm
Thanks
so
for
sorry.
coming on.
Wow.
All
Okay.
right. Yeah, poor thing.
Yes. I'm not a person. Let me just explain a few things since that brought up. People ask me, am I ever concerned or worried about evil people coming through or being attacked by negative energy. Absolutely not. I wouldn't have done this for over 2 decades and lived in fear. I'm really careful about the energies I tap into. And I've always told people I'm more afraid of the living than the deceased. I've had some murderers come through, including Ted Bundy, that admitted to some of the deaths of some of my clients. However, I've never been affected, nor do I believe that this can happen, negative things can happen to me because of the work I do.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
just like the people I hang around with, I am careful and cautious about the people I
You hang
associate
around with that
Yeah.
are alive.
That are alive,
Yeah,
yes. So,
exactly.
I know that is a fear place where people go. I am judged often about, where I connect and how this comes through. But I will say honestly, it's always felt a sense of peace
Mhm.
of your loved ones. And I know that they're okay. And I've always said there's no dieting or taxes, so it must be heaven. But I will tell you, especially with this tragic event, even though these loved ones are on the other side, they are still by our side. And we are forever connected with these loved ones. Thank you for joining us today.